Ram Giridhari Prabhuji on the topic of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya Leela, chapter 14, and text number 79 onwards. Prabhuji, welcome Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for joining. Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All grace to Srila Prabhupada, all grace to Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much for giving your very valuable time and association to us this morning and enlightening us on this topic. Please take I now hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for having me in this Sangha. It's always a pleasure to be with you all to glorify Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And it is always purifying and also transforming experience to discuss Krishna Katha in your assembly. So we are in the chapter where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exhibiting his feelings of separation from Krishna. So it's a very intense as well as very deep chapter. Whenever I was reading this and also contemplating on this, we definitely need to transport ourselves to a different mindset, different frame of mind to even analyze and discuss this particular chapter, as well as in general, the whole science of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So we will go through some set of verses and then we can kind of churn them and see if we have some lessons to learn. So text number 79. Hena kale jagannatera pani shanka bhajaila snanakari mahaprabhu darshane gela. Just then, everyone heard the blowing of the conch shell at the Jagannath temple. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately took his bath and went to see Lord Jagannath. Text 80. Yeita kahilum prabhura adbhuta vikara yahara shravane loke lage chamatkara. Thus, I have described the uncommon transformations of the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When people hear about this, they are very much astonished. Text 81. Loke nahi deki aiche shastre nahi suni hena bhava vyakta kare nyasi chudamani. No one has witnessed such bodily changes elsewhere, nor has anyone read of them in the revealed scriptures. Yet Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the supreme sannyasi, exhibited these ecstatic symptoms. Text 82. Shastra lokat yeyi bhavahaya itara lokera tate nahaya nischaya. These ecstasies are not described in the Shastras and they are inconceivable to common men. Therefore, people in general do not believe in them. Text 83. Raghunatha dasera sada prabhu sanghe sthiti tandra mukhe suni likhi kariya pratiti. Raghunath Das Goswami lived continuously with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I am simply recording whatever I have heard from him. Although common men do not believe in these pastimes, I believe in them totally. Text 84. Ekadina Mahaprabhu Samudre ye yaite Chataka Parvata Deki Lena Chambite. One day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to the sea to bathe. He suddenly saw a sand dune named Chataka Parvata. Text 85. Text 85. Govardhana Shaila Yane Avishta Hailila Parvata Dishate Prabhu Dhana Chalila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mistook the sand dune for Govardhana hill and ran toward it. Antaya Madrir Abala Haridasa Varyo Yadrama Krishna Charanas Parasha Pramoda Manam Tanoti Sahago Ganayos Tayoryat Pantya Suvayasu Kandara Kandamulaihi. Lord Sri Chaitanya said, of all the devotees, this Govardhana hill is the best. O my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram as well as their calves, cows, and cowherd friends with all kinds of necessities, water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respect to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, Govardhana hill appears very jubilant. Purport. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 21, Text 18. It was spoken by the gopis when Lord Krishna and Balaram entered the forest in autumn. The gopis spoke among themselves and glorified Krishna and Balaram for their pastimes. Next shloka, text 87. Ye shloka padi prabhu chalena vayu vege Govinda dhaila pache nahi paya lage. Reciting this verse, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ran toward the sand dune as fast as the wind. Govinda ran after him, but he could not approach him. 88. Hukara padila maha kolo kolahala haila yeyi yaha chila seyi uttiya dhaila. First, one devotee shouted loudly, and then a tumultuous uproar arose as all the devotees stood up and began to run after the Lord. Text 89. Swarupa Jagadananda Pandita Gadadhar Ramayananda Yara Pandita Shankara. Swarup Damodar Goswami, Jagadananda Pandit, Gadadhara Pandit, Ramayanandai, and Shankara Pandita are some of the devotees who ran after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Puri Bharati Goshai Aila Sindhu Tire Bhagavan Acharya Kanja Chalila Dhire Dhire. Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati also went toward the beach, and Bhagavan Acharya, who was lame, followed them very slowly. Pratame Chalile Prabhu Yena Vayukati Stamba Bhava Pate Haila Chalite Nahi Shakti. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was running with the speed of the wind, but he suddenly became stunned in ecstasy and lost all strength to proceed further. Prati Roma Kupe Mamsa Vranera Akara Tara Upare Roma Dagma Kadamba Prakara. The flesh at each of his pores erupted like pimples, and his bodily hairs standing on end appeared like Kadamba flowers. Prati Rome Prashveda Pade Rudirera Dhara Kante Ghara Gara Nahi Varnera Uchara. Blood and perspiration flowed incessantly from every pore of his body, and he could not speak a word. but simply produced a gargling sound within his throat. 94. Duinetre bhari ashru vahe apara samudre milila yena ganga yamuna dhara. The Lord's eyes filled and overflowed with unlimited tears like the Ganges and Yamuna meeting in the sea. Text 95. Vaivaranye Shanka Praya Sweta Haila Anga Tabe Kampa Uttena Samudre Taranga. His entire body faded to the color of a white conch shell, and then he began to quiver like the waves in the ocean. Kampite Kampite Prabhu Bhumete Padila Tabeta Govinda Prabhu Rani Kalte Aila. While quivering in this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu fell down on the ground. Then Govinda approached him. Text 97. Karangera Jhale Kare Sarvanga Shinchana Bahirvasa Lana Kare Anga Samvijana. Govinda sprinkled water from Karanga water pot all over the Lord's body, and then, taking his own outer garment, he began to fan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 98. Swarupadi Ganataha Ashiya Milila Prabhura Avastha Deki Kandite Lagila. When Swarup Damodar and other devotees reached the spot and saw the condition of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they began to cry. Prabhura Ange Dheke Ashta Satvika Vikara Ascharya Satvika Deki Haila Chamatkara. All 8 kinds of transcendental transformations were visible in the Lord's body. All the devotees were struck with wonder to see such a sight. Purport. The 8 ecstatic symptoms are the state of being stunned, perspiration, standing of the bodily hairs on end, faltering of the voice, trembling, fading of the body's color, tears, and devastation. उच्च संकीर्तन करे प्रभुर श्रवणे सीताला जाले करे प्रभुर अंग सम्मार्जने. The devotees loudly chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra near Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and washed his body with cold water. Next one. Yei mata bahubara kirtana karite Hari bolo bhali prabhu utte achambite. After the devotees had been chanting for a long time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suddenly stood up and shouted, Hari bol! Sanande Shakala Vaishnava Bale Hari Hari Utila Mangala Dwani Chatur Dhikbari. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood up, all the Vaishnavas loudly chanted Hari Hari in great jubilation. The auspicious sound filled the air in all directions. Uti Mahaprabhu Vishmita iti uti chaya ye dekite chaya taha dekite na paya. Astonished, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood up and began looking here and there, trying to see something, but he could not catch sight of it. The last verse for today. Vaishnava Dekiya Prabhu Ardha Bhaya Haila Swarupa Goshani Re Kichu Kahita Lagila. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw all the Vaishnavas, he returned to partial external consciousness and spoke to Swarup Damodara. So we are very fortunate to be part of this Sankirtan mission, to know such a very intricate and detailed description of Mahaprabhu's glories. So before we start discussing that, let us offer some prayers to our predecessor Acharyas. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the context that we are in is when Mahaprabhu is having his very special, personal, confidential, deeper moments during his manifested Leela. The very famous pastime when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking darshan at Jagannath temple. An old lady is trying to climb on Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and taking darshan of Jagannath. And Mahaprabhu appreciated her eagerness to see the Lord, while Swarup Damodar and Govinda had actually kind of accused her. So this whole chapter is when we get to see the very personal, confidential, deeper moments of pure devotional service. As we have been discussing, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, as well as he is emulating the mood of Srimati Radharani. So during his manifested Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at moments he exhibited how he is Krishna, and there are several moments how he is enjoying, emulating, understanding the mood of Srimati Radharani. So this whole chapter is where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is exhibiting those symptoms by which Srimati Radharani would be feeling for the Supreme Lord. It is explained by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami himself, where he says that no one will believe what I am saying. No one will be able to comprehend what is being spoken about. No one can even imagine, can such a thing happen? So in all probability, people may mock at me, but I submit with all honesty. I am presenting what I heard from Raghunath Das Goswami, and I am having 100% faith on his words. He has witnessed what I am narrating. So the pramana, anytime when we make some statements, any times when Vaishnava Acharyas are trying to present some philosophical and some very confidential and deeper aspects of science, so they explain the pramana or the background from where they are coming. It is not just some sentiments of the author, because Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was very particular in making sure that let people not assume that I was over sentimental, I was a bit fanatic, and I just blabbered something. What I am stating here has actually happened. At the same time, it is actually non-comprehensible. and neither it is supposed to be imitated. So here, the deeper devotion, the later aspect of pure devotional services are nicely exhibited. I'm not sure how much I am qualified to even dive and dissect those technical aspects of those deeper devotion. So let me limit the conversation today within the limited understanding that I have. But to be very honest, this particular series or this particular chapter by itself could as well be very deeply churned and discussed, wherein there is no relevance, there is no clarifications required to even give any materialistic context. This is purely love and only love for Krishna. Without the proper philosophical and spiritual understanding about who is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is Chaitanya Charitamrita, who is Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who is all these Goswamis, without understanding the deeper moods, these words, these actions, these symptoms of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be mocked by the so-called materialistic people. Because materialistic people, especially those who are victim of modern materialistic education, all they know is if I don't understand, I should mock at them. One of the fear for our younger generation today is that because there is no majority, there is no supportive philosophical understanding, this younger generation, they happen to withdraw themselves slowly from Krishna consciousness because it is not logically comprehensible, and more so, all their peers, they are mocking at this. So Kali acts in a manner where when we see somebody mocking, we want to withdraw ourselves from that. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami very clearly classifies, I don't care. Rather, I would repeat what I heard from my spiritual authority, Raghunath Das Goswami. So my first reflection in this current context is about, in our journey to Krishna consciousness, when we are reading, analyzing, we need to understand the pramana, the basis from where everything is stated. And if the basis is from a bona fide source, and the basis is from a very strong established chain of disciplic succession, then give importance to the conclusion of that basis rather than the majority or minority, whoever is supporting or not supporting. When Srila Prabhupada was asked by a reporter in Australia, stating that you have how many disciples in your country, in this country? Srila Prabhupada said close to 10,000 followers. The reporter said, in comparison to the population, 10,000 seems very negligible. Srila Prabhupada, within a wink of an eye, he said that we don't get to see a crowd in the jewelry shop. Only those who are capable will only go and buy diamond and jewels. In grocery shops and vegetable shops, people will flock in. What the signs that we are offering is a very rare jewel. To purchase them, we need some special qualification. So in our journey to Krishna consciousness, we are so much need to be indebted to all our Vaishnava Acharyas to have given us in spite of so many people challenged and mocked and, it disturbed them. Especially from Bhaktivinoda Thakur all the way to Srila Prabhupada. And even after that, for that matter. Bhaktivinoda Thakur had to face so many challenges, so many Shaktas and so many so-called Shankarites, so many people who kind of spread several, nuisances. So my reflection here is that in our journey to Krishna consciousness, we need to always look for, that's why Prabhupada says, we need to always have very strong philosophical understanding with the help of the blessings of all the Vaishnava Acharyas, and that should be the basis of our functioning. I was just giving a class the other day to our congregation in Mumbai. So we were comparing how the 4 tenets that Srila Prabhupada gave. Purity is the force, books are the basis, utility is the principle, and preaching is the essence, or the 4 tenets for spiritual application. By them, we can directly counteract the evil effects of Kali Yuga. Prayena alpayusha sabya kalavasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagyahi upadrataha. Meaning, right from our being short-lived to lazy, to misguided, to being unfortunate, to be disturbed, to be lazy, sleepy, fault-finding, having doubts in our heart. These are all some natures of Kali. If Kali has to pull us down from the progressive path of Krishna consciousness, the way Kali will derail us, drag us back, is by installing some doubt in our heart, making us find fault in others, making us become very lazy and sleepy, making us realize that it is not my mistake. So we'll have to make us blame others. So these are all the ways by which Kali pulls us backwards. So that's why Prabhupada's, these 4 tenets, I was reflecting the other day how they were directly, challenging. So my point is, when we read this series, whilst we may just read them saying that yes, Mahaprabhu was ecstatic, emotional, Mahaprabhu had, all the Ashta Satvika Bhava. This could be a philosophical, technical information and move on. But to get to the skin of it, we need to show a lot of character, which we are yet to build, or at least I am yet to build. And that's what this journey is, going to offer us. So slowly, we need to peel off several layers of duplicity and hypocrisy to finally stand clean and simple, so that the signs of Krishna consciousness can be enjoyed. By we being pure, as Prabhupada says, by having purity, whilst purity is the force, because of the force, we can challenge the attitude of laziness and sleep, which Kali is threatening upon us. With the help of the basis of Shastras, books are the basis, we will be able to challenge Kali's effect on us, which is doubts and being disturbed. Because Kali will make us generate several doubts. Is really this literature good? Is really something that is relevant for us? Is something that we should be getting into? Oh, there are several, transactional basic problems that I need to deal in life. Should I really get into this? So when we have proper Shastra Chakshu, when we have the proper vision from the basis of Shastras, these doubts, we ourselves will be able to, handle them, and we will never be disturbed. Otherwise, we will always be disturbed. Oh, my uncle is saying something. My nani is saying something. My so-and-so people are saying something. Different people are saying different things. So we keep wobbling between different places. We will never have a clarity of thought. Thanks to Srila Prabhupada, at least we are knowing this is the path that I'm going to walk, and I need to just keep moving forward. And by we understanding the utility is the principal aspect of it, we will not get misguided. We know how to utilize our time, we know how to utilize our resources, our relationships. We will get safeguarded. Otherwise, Ashraddha Danaha Purusha Dharmasyasya Param Tapa Aprapyamam Nivartante Mrityu Samsara Vartmani. We will going on round robin in this material cycle, birth, death, old age, disease, birth, death, old age, disease cycle. So by the principle of utility, utility is the principle. When Srila Prabhupada is saying this, I was just reflecting how just by knowing what we call as Yukta Vairagya, just by applying our brain to make sure that all the resources that are available in our life should be utilized for the pleasure of Krishna consciousness, for the service of Krishna consciousness, we will be able to definitely not fall trapped to this misguided propaganda. And last but not least, by Srila Prabhupada saying preaching is the essence, at least we will know that we will safeguard ourselves from being unfortunate, because by we preaching, we will become fortunate. And with the help of others, when somebody is getting help, they get fortune. So we stop blaming each other and start to take responsibility. So my first reflection in this current context is hence that this science that we are learning is bona fide, is coming from a very authoritative source. And even if there are not many buyers, even if there are not many supporters, even if there are not many people who are following this, who may not be students of this, even people may mock at this, let's be firmly convinced, because Kali is not going to leave us, it's going to constantly chase us down. So hence this statements by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami to establish the background and the premises on how he is making this descriptive information about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's emotions, they are all bona fide. Second reflection is about the actual scene here. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is seeing Chataka Parvata, just some sand dunes. It's just something like a small mountain. Because he is conditioned to see everything in connection with Krishna, he is not able to differentiate. He is not able to see things outside of Krishna's consciousness. This is something which is a science that Srila Prabhupada is teaching us, so that eventually in our own lives, we are able to see everything in connection with Krishna. As we have spoken several times, there is nothing in this world that we can say is not belonging to Krishna, or it is not Krishna's. The two truths, Krishna, the absolute truth, and everything belongs to Krishna, which is Krishna's, is the second absolute truth. Anything above and beyond, which means an illusion, Maya. Krishna consciousness is a science where we are encouraged, educated, inspired to see everything in connection with Krishna. Right from Damodar Leela to several other episodes that we pick it up from Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada's life story, we get to see and talk how Srila Prabhupada utilized everything, connected everything to the source. So here Mahaprabhu is playing the role of a pure devotee. The purest is Srimati Radharani, and in her mood. Because when Krishna was not in Vrindavan physically in front of everyone's naked eyes, Srimati Radharani had exactly similar emotions. Srimati Radharani used to go and talk to Bumblebee. Srimati Radharani used to go and embrace tamal trees. Srimati Radharani is going to look at, even if there is a rainy cloud, whichever resembled, whichever were having connection with Krishna. Srimati Radharani looked at the bamboos. Srimati Radharani looked at the flutes. Srimati Radharani looked at the birds. So she's questioning everyone. Did you see Krishna? How fortunate are you to be with Krishna? Oh, when will I see my Krishna? Oh, when will I see Krishna? Oh, Krishna, oh, Krishna, oh, Krishna. Oh, how fortunate you are to serve Krishna. Oh, Giriraj, how fortunate you are to serve Krishna. So look at the mood. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is very pictorially giving a description that what is the effect of it. When somebody is in resonance and in utmost synchronization with the pure devotional service, nothing material can touch them, or no amount of pain externally will bother them. Because practically speaking, here Mahaprabhu was having blood oozing out of every pores of his body along with perspiration. Just imagine that scene. The greatest of the devotees are crying looking at the state of Mahaprabhu. Who of devotional service? Swarup Damodar Goswami, Govinda, Jagadananda Pandit, Gadadhara Pandit. Everybody is crying and weeping looking at the state of Mahaprabhu. Even though they know that this is purely spiritual, even though they know this is absolutely transcendental, and there is no 1% of materialism connected to this. But still, the scene is intense. A similar state was there in Vrindavan when Krishna was missing and when Krishna was, indirectly present or, physically not visible to everyone else. Not only Srimati Radharani, all the gopis, they were all crying, weeping, and longing, looking at everywhere, talking to themselves. They were like motionless, or they were just barely maintaining themselves. Pati Sutanvayat Bratur Bandhavan Ati Vilankhyate Achyutagata. So gopis are singing, we gave up everybody's association, our husband, in-laws, children, responsibilities, and we just came after you and you left us and left. And in that separation, feeling of separation, they became so strong and so intense that they exhibited such symptoms. They used to group themselves together, cry, looking at different scenes and cry. Here Mahaprabhu is looking at Giriraj and is glorifying Giriraj. He's actually not seeing, for Mahaprabhu, this Chataka Parvata is actually Giriraj. Later, when Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, when he came, so he has actually established a small ashram there. Even now, if you go to Jagannath Puri as a part of Puri Parikrama, this Chatak Parvat, which is considered as Govardhana of Jagannath Puri. Like how in Mayapur, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested the entire Vrindavan. There is Radha Kund, Shama Kund, Giriraj, and not only Vrindavan, Mayapur, Navadvip Dham is a place where all the holy abodes, Ayodhya is there, Kailash is there, and so many holy places are there. Similarly, Jagannath Puri is no less a spiritual abode where Giriraj is manifested there. Even though for a normal man, it is a sand dunes, but Mahaprabhu worshipped, developed all the emotions and glorified and just completely gone into trance, just looking at Giriraj, which eventually Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj made it as a very important monument, very important place of worship. So till today, every time when we go to Jagannath Puri, we visit there, we stay there, and we have a wonderful discussions there how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had a very strong feeling of separation. So my second reflection is that in our journey to Krishna consciousness, at some point in time, we need to start to practice, we need to start to reflect, we need to start to emulate how to see, connect everything with respect to Krishna, and learn to see as Krishna's resources and accordingly deal with them. It's a very important subtle science, because that subtlety, when we get into that, then our dealings with them, our expectations from them will completely change. Today, I am dealing with various resources as it is mine or it is meant for mine, and hence I have several expectations in either relationships or with things or with various other aspects. We constantly look forward at how all those resources should help me, rather how I should connect with them as it is Krishna's. So another subtle science that is coming out of this particular context is a devotee, when he is self-realized, for him, he is able to connect everything around the world with respect to Krishna, and he does not need a specific, for him, every place is a place of worship, and he can definitely transform the place into a spiritual abode. Whilst we all need temple, we all need ashrams, we all need specific places to fine-tune our consciousness, but a self-realized soul is the one who is able to emulate, bring in, transform a place into a place of worship. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am not specifically getting into the purport of the Haridasa Varya Shloka. That will take the whole conversation to glorify Giriraj. Of course, Giriraj Maharaj, Giriraj Govardhan is considered as a Haridasa Varya, is considered as a glorious devotee of the Supreme Lord. And who is appreciating them? The gopis themselves, who is considered as the topmost devotees. They are giving a certificate to Giriraj, saying that you are the topmost devotee. The reason they are saying is, Giriraj is not only serving Krishna, Giriraj is serving Krishna's servants also. And Giriraj is not only giving a portion of his resources to Krishna, Giriraj is giving himself to Krishna. So both this intricate point that one has to give oneself to Krishna and one has to give oneself to Krishna's followers, Krishna's devotees, that is the secret science of Krishna consciousness. We may appreciate Krishna, we may appreciate some devotees, but here we are supposed to appreciate Krishna and his devotees, serve Krishna and his devotees, not just limitedly, unlimitedly, completely, like Giriraj Maharaj, this Giriraj Govardhan gave himself. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Chatak Parvat, he immediately glorified how you are a Haridasa Varya, how you are wonderfully serving the Supreme Lord. Because that is when we can understand Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. Because she's feeling, what did you do? Because she's going on asking the flute, she's going on asking several things. How did you all get this association of the Supreme Lord? Whilst Krishna left us alone. So that's our, that's supposed to be our learning, where we all are supposed to imbibe in our own lives to see, connect everything with Krishna, and that means that we will not have any enemies. We will not have anything that we will dislike. We will not have anything that we will stay away from. Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami exhibited that quality. Raghunatha Bhatta Goswami was such a self-realized soul that he would hardly able to hear any two human beings, any two people would accuse amongst themselves. Also, he used to close his ears. He used to see everyone, everything, every aspect in connection with Krishna, and that is why they are all Goswamis, self-realized soul. So we need to slowly inculcate in our own lives to see, connect everything in connection with the Supreme Lord, and that way we will not have anything that we will see it as mine or my resources for my enjoyment. That is why Kapila Dev is explaining to Devahuti as a quality of a Vaishnava. He says, Suhrada Sarvadehinam Ajata Sadhruva Shadda Sadhva Sadhu Bhushanaha Titikshava Karunika Suhrada Sarvadehinam. So he is explaining how these are all wonderful qualities of a Vaishnava, where he connects with every resources in this world with them as a simple servant, and everything actually belongs to Krishna. The third reflection is about the whole aspect of feeling for separation and caring for Vaishnavas. Both are very nicely exhibited in this current context. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as a part of his manifest Leela, he is exhibiting the role of a devotee. He is showing what it means to develop a sense of feeling of separation from Krishna. If each and every one of us kind of analyze our own lives, has there been any moment or how many such moments that you can count in your days in Krishna consciousness where you felt separation from Krishna? It's a very subtle question, but then we would have found connection with Krishna because we are constantly reaching out to him, either to ask for some help or to offer our prayers. We are definitely, serving Krishna as a matter of our duty. Some of us would even also love Krishna because he is our master, he is our Prabhu. Are we missing Krishna? Are we really feeling that, when will I come? When will that day be mine? When I will be with Krishna, playing, dancing, singing. Kabe habe bolo se dinamar aparada guchi sudana me ruchi kripa bale kabe hridaye sanchar trinadika hina kabe nije mani. It's a wonderful song. I always encourage our students to memorize this song and somewhere or other just stick it around your workbench, because this song Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining how to develop the mood of, how to develop this longing sense of questioning ourselves. When will that day be mine? When I will be able to chant the holy name of the Lord offenselessly? When will that day be mine? When I will be able to glorify Krishna? When will the day be mine? When I'll be able to wander through the streets of Navadvipa? When will the day be mine? Without any ego, pride, envy, illusion, all those vices, I will be able to serve others. Several such questions Bhaktivinoda Thakur is posing. This feeling of separation from Krishna is actually a component in our journey in Krishna consciousness. I can confess here that I have not felt this. We have been busy serving Krishna, glorifying Krishna, doing several things. Have you ever cried, Krishna, I needed you badly because that I need you for solving my problem? No, not like that. I want to be there to help you, serve you, glorify you, please you. We have achieved a very important stage, or at least achieving or working, wherein we are able to connect with Krishna for everything. At least to that much, we have been prepared by our seniors, by our friends, by our devotees, whereby constantly honing in on one single aspect of Krishna consciousness, we are able to appreciate, we are able to glorify, we are able to connect that yes, Krishna consciousness, we are slowly becoming Krishna conscious, but our Krishna conscious is still not, as Rupa Goswami explained, which is Anya Abhilashita Sunyam Jnana Karma Tyanavritam anukulyena Krishna anusilanam bhaktiruttama. So this feeling of separation, somewhere in our journey in Krishna consciousness, we should start working for it. Today we were in our temple here, Radha Madan Mohanji temple in Navi Mumbai. We had a Brahmotsava celebration today. In India, today is Gudi Padwa Day. It's a Maharashtrian New Year, as well as Ugadi. It's a New Year for Telugu and Karnataka people. Of course, it is a coincidence where in our local temple, it's a Brahmotsav. That's a day where the deities were installed. So we had an Abhishek ceremony. So all over the temple, they had not temple, around the temple, they had put Lord Krishna is watching us all. Lord Krishna is watching us all. It was, stuck around the temple. Actually, it is true. Lord Krishna is watching us all. How much are we recognizing Krishna? Krishna is watching over us constantly. When will the day be, this guys, where he is able to become a devotee? But how much are we watching Krishna? Oh, I am not able to watch Krishna. I am missing Krishna. Because some of the statements when we read, like, yugayitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrishayitam sunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name. When we read that, the translation is, every moment of separation is, I feel like 12 years. Do we really feel that? Do I really feel that? When gopis are blaming Brahma, saying that the twitching of an eye or when blinking of an eye, when I blink, my eyelids are closing. During that moment, I am not able to see Krishna. So it is a fault in your design. Sometimes when I read this, I feel that what an exaggeration of this. But is this an exaggeration? Definitely not. It looks an exaggeration to me because for me, I am self-centered. But the moment we are Krishna-centered, the moment we are able to think around Krishna, moment we are able to think for Krishna, moment we are able to glorify Krishna. Today, our Krishna consciousness is centered around us. But Krishna, when I say centered around us, I mean to say, previously, we were doing I, me, mine only. Now, the difference is I, me, mine, and Krishna also. Previously, my life was centered around me. Everything was centered around me. Now, by being part of the Sangha, regularly participating in Krishna Katha, doing some service, what changes have come? I, me, mine, and Krishna also. The moment we say this, it's such a shame that I feel. How can I say Krishna also? That tells us where are we supposed to go. I, me, mine should go, and finally we should come to the stage of Krishna only. So today's Krishna consciousness of me is based on, oh Krishna, please solve this problem because I need this. Krishna, fix the situation because I need this. So I am Krishna conscious with the reason, with the agenda. But here, the activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that were glorified, the symptoms of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the emotions that exhibited by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are all completely different because a feeling in separation from Krishna. And why I am feeling separation from Krishna? Because I personally feel I should please Krishna, I should serve Krishna, be with Krishna and give pleasure to Krishna because Krishna is feeling separation from me. A person who is sensitive in his Krishna consciousness will be able to appreciate a moment, a slightest displeasure, a slightest, feeling of a beloved cannot be tolerated. If I love someone, if I like someone to the core, if I know that this person does not like this, then I should not be doing, I will not be doing. And if I know Krishna is our Father, He is missing us, He is longing for us, that is why He is sending so many support system to get us back. At least I should naturally feel for it and work towards it. So the feeling of separation, somewhere or other, we should inculcate. When I say inculcate, we should start realizing that actually we are missing Krishna as much as or much more. And Krishna is missing us. That's the state that we should come in. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited that stage. When you exhibited such a stage of feeling of separation from Krishna, and when you happen to see anything closer to Krishna or Krishnas, you'll behave like this madman. Ashta Satvika Bhava is not sabke bas ka nahi hai. It is not everybody's agenda. Everyone can't understand this. You cannot imitate this. Unfortunately, when Bhaktivinoda Thakur was traveling in the entire Gauda Desh, there were so many apasampradayis. There were so many caste Goswamis, so many caste devotees. They had exhibited different such external symptoms. But in the heart of heart, thinking about sense gratification, Bhaktivinoda Thakur very strongly condemned them. There's a separate detailed discussion in Chaitanya Charitamrita in one place. Prabhupada writes, all ball. Like that, there are 14, 13 different classifications of apasampradayis who also exhibited this Ashta Satvika Bhava or some similar bhavas. But here what we discuss, what symptoms that we are seeing of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has no tinge of such nonsense. So my third reflection hence is, in our own lives, let us start to recognize, feel, actually I am missing Krishna. Actually I start, the moment I feel restless, the moment I feel, oh my God, I'm actually missing Krishna, I'm away from Krishna, I'm in a foreign land, I'm in a jail, I'm actually not in a place I'm supposed to be in, I'm supposed to go back home. This is not the place I'm supposed to be here. This is not a natural part of mine. When I start realizing them, that's when the urgency in Krishna consciousness will change. Otherwise, we'll get into the complacency mode. And the second aspect of the third reflection is, what should be the mood of a person who is with such a devotee? Look at all the other support systems that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had. Everybody is going there and chanting loudly. Of course, they were one sense concerned and crying, looking at Mahaprabhu's state of life. Blood is coming out of his body. He is falling down. He lost his consciousness. He lost all the strength. So they are going there out of their attachment and love for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are crying. And they are shouting, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Govinda is fanning Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's sprinkling water. He's trying to bring him up to consciousness, so that at least things can continue on. Otherwise, this becomes really a deadlock situation. Mahaprabhu has now lost his consciousness and is just lying in this pool of blood. And we do not know how to handle it. We cannot just leave him like that. We have to bring him to consciousness so that transactional things can happen. They know that Mahaprabhu's state of mind, because this is not the first instance. Just before text number 79, you all would have read how Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was lying flat in front of Singadwara in Jagannath temple. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was frozen standing in front of Jagannath. How several instances in this chapter has been brought out where Mahaprabhu is feeling separation from Krishna. And every time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates, the way they dealt with Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when we deal with some self-realized souls, there's an art of doing that service. So when we are dealing with our spiritual masters, when we are dealing with our spiritual authorities, we should also be able to be sensitive to the consciousness that they are in. Very important. Because if the support systems are not proper, if they are not able to understand, they will neither get the benefit nor they will give benefit. But by Mahaprabhu having such wonderful Vaishnavas, they are able to be very understanding to the mood of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and act accordingly to give him pleasure and also bring him back to normal senses. So in our devotional service, many times, I'm not sure how many of you have read the book When Good Fortune Arrives. It's a book compiled by His Grace Madhavananda Prabhu, glorifying Gaur Govinda Maharaj. So there were several episodes that he is pointing it out. At least this is from the perspective of contemporary Vaishnavas who lived just amongst us, around us. Of course, we go back to Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, several Goswamis, and their behaviors, they are all recorded and we see them, we are surprised. But such similar behaviors, such similar or some speck of those, behaviors were exhibited by Srila Prabhupada's disciples also. Srila Prabhupada, of course, hid his emotions, did not reveal publicly in several forums, but in some specific forums, Srila Prabhupada also exhibited his very long sense of separation from the Supreme Lord. If you read the life of Gaur Govinda Maharaj, you will know how Gaur Govinda Maharaj left this body in this, and left this world. Very wonderful. So when we are serving such Vaishnavas, when we are amongst such Vaishnavas, though we are not supposed to imitate them, we are supposed to at least assist them, support them by being a very sincere student and understanding the mood and cooperate to that mood. So here all the devotees, they were glorifying, loudly chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and with that spirit of love and care, they kept Mahaprabhu's mood intact. Unlike Ramachandra Puri did not understand Madhavendra Puri's service. Unlike several disciples of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj did not understand Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj and harmed his feeling. We do see Srila Prabhupada, who understood what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj wanted. We see how Sarup Damodar Goswami, Govinda, and several servants understood Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and serving him. So feeling for separation from Krishna is definitely a must. And also supporting, assisting such Vaishnavas who are exhibiting such feeling and caring for them and serving for them is a natural way, the natural mechanism that we ourselves can also inherit such a feeling. So if at all I am interested in developing the feeling of separation for Krishna, best way is to serve such Vaishnavas who are already feeling for separation from Krishna. Just by being with them, serving them, taking care of them, loving them, being sensitive to them, we will eventually get to that stage which is expected of us. So I would like to end here. Before ending, I just want to summarize. I had 3 sets of reflections. Number 1 reflection is about how we need to understand this science of Krishna consciousness. They are all very special, have a pramana, have a basis. So when we learn such Vedic philosophical knowledge, we need to know the source. And if you know the source is bona fide, then let us not worry about the followers in the majority. Rather, let us stick on to the principles delineated by the bona fide authorities, and rest, the result will be automatically manifesting. And how Srila Prabhupada's 4 tenets of spiritual application helps us in mitigating the evil effects of Kali, which naturally makes us to disbelieve such ideologies. And as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami confesses here, that many people may not appreciate what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has exhibited. What I'm saying is absolute truth, because I heard it from Raghunath Das Goswami. So Kali will challenge us, bring in a lot of doubts, bring in fault finding, several reasoning within our heart. But we need to counter this evil effects of Kali with the help of Srila Prabhupada's 4 tenets. Purity is the force, books are the basis, utility is the principle, and preaching is the essence. The second reflection is about how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is able to see. He exhibited the mood of devotee, especially Srimati Radharani, how they are able to see everything in connection with Krishna and to see everything as Krishna's. For a person who is completely in love, for them to see anything out of the context is very difficult. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is demonstrating how in our journey to Krishna consciousness, we need to learn to see, connect everything with respect to Krishna. And the moment we are able to see them in our connection for our pleasure, that's when the problem comes in. The third reflection that we discussed is about inculcating the sense of love of, feeling of separation from Krishna. The feeling of separation from Krishna is very important. If we don't feel separation from Krishna, we will continue to struggle, continue to stay in this material world and come again and again. So we need to feel separation to intensify our devotion. And if we are able to associate with such a person who is able to feel separation from Krishna, better serve them very favorably, and in that way we will be able to inherit that feeling of separation from Krishna. So feeling of separation from Krishna here is not meant for our needs or our fulfillment of our needs. It is meant purely to please Krishna, because Krishna is wanting us back, and because Krishna is wanting us back, it is for his pleasure to make him happy. We have to go back. Otherwise, whatever Krishna wants, we should be doing. So it's very, very interesting. As I said, this is only one level of explaining this particular context. If you actually take the route of Madhurya Kadambini's explanation, wherein what are the emotional technicalities involved in bhava and prema, Viswanatha Chakravarti Thakur is giving a very wonderful explanation. I didn't take that route because it will be really technical. So I just thought I'll limit it with my, limited understanding. But these emotions that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited, they have a reason how a person with Ashta Sattvika Bhava, how there are different stages of Bhava, how in the stages of Prema, what all the symptoms that are exhibited by devotees, those are all very rare and cannot be imitated. So hence I just left it for each and every one of you to reflect upon or to hear from other bona fide sources. So with that note, I would like to end my session here. If there are any questions or comments, I'll be happy to respond. Shri Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Nitai Gaurav Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. Excellent class, Prabhu. I'm happy that you didn't take the route of Madhurya Kadambini and you just shared all these reflections, because already this last section of Chaitanya Charitamrita is, at least I'll talk about myself, that it's so hard for me to comprehend. So definitely not getting into the mood. But I really liked your second, all reflections are equally good, but I really like the second reflection where you mentioned that we should look everything as Krishna and everything's as Krishna's, that he's the source of everything. That's really good, Prabhu. That because I was thinking, rather reflecting on this point, that when we see everything as Krishna, when we see the hand behind every, like it's Krishna's hand behind everything, that will also intensify our smaran also, because we always absorbed in the consciousness of Krishna. So that's what is Krishna consciousness. But really pray to all of you that, especially you, Prabhu, that please bless us so that we can imbibe this mood, that we can be always 24/7, 365 days, we can be Krishna conscious by seeing everything it belongs to Krishna. Source is Krishna. That's so wonderful, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your association. And I know you are perspiring. I don't know why, maybe because of the class.
No, actually I'm not, because the fan makes a lot of noise. So I kept the fan low. I didn't want to get it disturbing. That's why I'm perspiring. Of course, I'm perspiring because in the assembly of such a Vaishnava, I will not actually perspire.
I was thinking that the bhava of Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Oh my God. Let me turn on the fan so that no such false reflection is given there. No. I just kept it down because it's very, very hot in India now. Very hot. It's around 40 degrees Celsius here.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, one of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, used to say how Srila Prabhupada taught that we need to learn to see. Whenever we see anything beautiful, when you see a beautiful mountain, fountain, river, flowers, trees, streams, whatever you see beautiful, anything that is attracting you beautiful, of course, not the sense objects in terms of sense gratification. You should learn to see this is Krishna, this is Krishna. To train ourselves. So yes, I guess I have a long way to go there, but philosophically, that's the right perspective. Any other questions or comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. As Kishora Sundari Mataji said, what a beautiful class, seeing everything in relation to Krishna and also what is really separation from Krishna. How Chaitanya Mahaprabhu experienced that so beautifully described. Thank you so much, Prabhu. We are very grateful for your association. Thanks again. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. All glory to Prabhupada.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, अनंत कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम। शिल प्रभुपाद श्री गुरुदेव की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय। Always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. Yes, Prabhuji, please pray for all of us that we will chant our round attentively and hear Krishna Katha, Krishna Katha, Krishna Katha. Jai Jai Nityananda, Jai Jai Gauranga. All reflection. Today I am not making note, Prabhuji. Same day I have to cook respected Ma Papa Prasadam, but I will sure hear again the class, Prabhuji. One realization is touched to heart, Prabhuji. Anant Koti Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, then any other questions or comments? Otherwise, we can end the session here. Thank you so much for your association and looking forward to serve you all in the future. I do.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Nobody has any question, we can end the call. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for your very enlightening class today. And we are very grateful to you. We look forward to your association again in future. Thank you, Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripasindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavyo namo namah. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, His Grace Ram Giridhari Prabhuji ki jai. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Closing the call. Hare Krishna.